Hey there, first graders. We are starting a brand new chapter today. This is our final chapter in our first grade math books, and that is going to be chapter 12. And chapter 12 is introducing to you two-dimensional shapes. We're going to go over being able to sort by them, making how can you combine them, how do you classify them. So how would you describe them based on their sides, their corners, their vertices, things like that. You can also sort by size. So we are going to talk about all kinds of different things with our two-dimensional shape. So you should have gotten a little bag in your learning packet that I gave you right before spring break. That says pattern blocks, and it had all of these, and I believe you actually have one more shape than I do. I don't know how I ended up without any of those, but I think they are the diamond shape that are blue. I'm pretty sure I'm missing, so you have to bear with me, but you should have plenty of those shapes, several of each of them. So you are going to use that throughout chapter 12. And this is lesson 1, and it is sort two-dimensional shapes. So we're focusing on our essential question, which says, how can you use attributes to classify and sort two-dimensional shapes? So the attributes are going to be the way you can describe these different shapes. So like I said, how many sides does it have? How many vertices? Things like that. So, the first part that says listen and draw, it wants us to draw to sort the shapes and write the sorting rule. So you could sort them in all kinds of different ways. You could sort them based on how many sides they have, if it is actually a closed figure or an open figure. A 2D shape is closed, so the lines all touch. You see how there is a gap here and here where the figure does not close all the way. So that is not an actual 2D shape because it is open. They have to be closed on all sides to be a two-dimensional shape. So Devin wants to sort these shapes to show a group of triangles and a group of rectangles. So draw and write to show how Devin sorts these shapes. So if he wants to sort them by triangles and rectangles, we need to put what those rules are. What are we sorting them by? So over here is going to be triangles. And over here is going to be rectangles. Okay, so now I'm looking at the pictures, and this first one is a rectangle. So I'm going to try to copy exactly what that one looks like. So about how long it is and how skinny it is, I want to try to draw it like that. So I've taken care of that one. The next one is a triangle. So I'm going to draw it. Now, I just mentioned that this is not a closed figure, so we actually cannot sort that one at all because it is not a triangle and it is not a rectangle. This one is a square. So the definition of a rectangle is that it has 4 sides and 4 right angles. So technically this square does fall into the rectangle category. The only difference is a square, by definition, has to have 4 equal sides. So that one will go in the rectangle. Then this one is a triangle, so you want to draw it really long. And this one is open, so we can't sort it at all. It won't go in the triangle or rectangle box. Then this one is another rectangle. And this square, I drew that one like this, so I'm going to draw this one. Okay, so these are the 4 that would fit into the rectangle category, and these were the 2 that fit into the triangle category. And then there were 2 that didn't fit at all. And down there, the math talk, are there any that did not go into your groups? And the answer is yes, because those are not, that's not a triangle and that's not a rectangle because they're not closed figures. All right, model and draw. So here are some ways to sort 2-dimensional shapes. So you can sort them if they have curved and closed shapes. So again, it has to be closed to be a 2-dimensional shape. So if they're curved, so that would be your circles. Closed shapes with, how many sides do all of those have if it's a triangle? Right, they're all going to have 3 sides. So closed shapes with 3 sides. And then closed shapes with, so if these are rectangles, how many sides do all of those have? Right, they all have 4 sides. But it's also asking us, this one is asking us how many vertices. So vertices are those points or corners where the sides meet. So how many vertices do each of those have? Right, they all have 4 vertices. So up here, that's where it's explaining that a square is a special kind of rectangle. It is a rectangle because it has 4 sides and it has 4 vertices that are all right angles. But it has one more special detail making it a square, and that is that all 4 sides are equal. Rectangles do not have to have equal sides. So a square fits the rules of a rectangle, but because it has all 4 sides, we give it a special name, which is a square. So it's a special kind of rectangle. All right, share and show. Read the sorting rule. Circle the shapes that follow the rule. So for number 1, it wants you to circle all the shapes that have 4 vertices. So those are the corners, right? So it has to have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we would circle this shape because it does have 4 vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one also has 4 vertices. 1, 2, 3. That one does not, so we're not going to circle it. It has to have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to circle that one. 1, 2, 3. That one does not. Okay, the next rule says not curved. So if it has a curve, we're not going to circle it. So we could cross those out. So these have curves, so we can cross them out. This doesn't have any curves. Triangles don't have any curves. Rectangles and squares don't have any curves. Only 3 sides. So a circle doesn't have any sides. A rectangle has 4. A square has 4. A rectangle has 4. So this triangle has 3 sides. and this triangle has 3 sides. You can count sides by putting little marks if you want. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why we didn't pick it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't have any flat sides. Last one, it has to have more than 3 sides. So 3 is not enough. So those triangles we can't circle. It has to have more than 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So we're just following the rule and finding the shapes that meet that rule. Alright, so on your own, circle the shapes that follow the rule. So number 5, you're going to circle all the curved shapes. Number 6, you're going to circle only 3 vertices. So it can only have 3 corners, right? So circle those corners, count those corners. Number 7, it has to have 4 sides. Sides are the flat sides. Have to have 4 of them. And then number 8, it says 4 sides are the same length. So all 4 sides are the same length. So it has to have 4 sides and they have to be the same length. So find those key words to help you solve these problems. Okay. So follow the rules. Circle the shapes that follow those rules. Draw 2 different 2-dimensional shapes that follow both parts of the sorting rule. So draw 2 different shapes that have 3 sides and 3 vertices. And then draw 2 different shapes that have 2 sides that are long and 2 sides that are short. So 3 sides and 3 vertices. 2 sides are long, 2 sides are short. Okay. And then on the back, it says Ted sorted these shapes 3 different ways. Write sorting rules to tell how Ted sorted. So 11, 12, and 13. You're writing the rule he used to sort them. So why did these get pulled? What rule was he following? Why did these get pulled? What rule was he following? And why did these get pulled? What rule could he have been following? And number 14, which shapes have more than 3 sides? Choose all that apply. So more than 3 sides. All right, parents, I'm going to put the answer key up on Class Dojo, and if you all have any other questions, let me know. We are going to get into more lessons that we're going to need these sorting blocks, or sorting patterns, but they are there for you all to talk about and work through. Talk about how many sides, how many vertices for these shapes, and we will keep moving through Chapter 12. And just let me know if I can help in any way.